Hello everyone, I am Asha Bis. Today I welcome you all in Class 6 History, the chapter Word, Books and Burials Tell Us. In this chapter we'll study about the literature found in past and how it got composed and how people started to keeping it safe. The oldest books in the world. Dear students, you must have heard about the word Vedas. If we talk about Vedas, there are basically four important Vedas: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Among us, these all Vedas, the oldest Veda is Rig Veda, which was composed 3500 years ago. The Rig Veda basically it include the thousands of hymns. These hymns are called Sukta, or you can say well said. These hymns are in praise of various gods and goddesses. There are three main important gods which were specially worshipped that time: Agni, the god of fire; Indra, a warrior god; and Soma, a plant from which a special drink was prepared. These hymns, students, these were composed by the sages, which were called the rishis also. Priest taught students about these compositions, and the students used to memorize them, and later they used to pass on these memorized hymns to the other generation. There were a few which were composed by women also. The Rig Veda is the old or Vedic Sanskrit, which is different from the Sanskrit you learned in school these days. This Sanskrit language was different to the language which you are studying nowadays. When we talk about Veda, as I have told you, there are four important Vedas: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. And we also discussed about the composition of these Vedas. Now let's talk about the Sanskrit and other languages. Sanskrit is part of a family of language known as Indo-European. Some Indian languages such as Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri, and Sindhi, and many European languages such as English, French, German, Greek, Italian, and Spanish belong to this family. They are called a family because they originally had words in common. They share the common words in it. Like for example, if you say matra in Sanskrit, and in Hindi that means mata or mother. Other languages used in the subcontinent belong to different families. For instance, those used in the northeast Bengal belong to the Tibeto-Burman family. These are the Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam. These Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam languages, these belong to the Dravidian families. And the languages spoken in Jharkhand and parts of central India belong to the Austro-Asiatic families. Moving forward, how do historians study the Rig Veda? Now the historians, like the archaeologists, those who study about the history, those who search about the important things of past and study them later, they find out about the past. But in addition to material remains, they examine written sources as well. Not only the material they collect from the earth, from these sites, but also they collect the literary sources through which they can get good or better information regarding these Vedas and other things which were there in the past. Now, some of the hymns in the Rig Veda are in the form of dialogues. These hymns are in the form of dialogues also. This is part of one such hymn, a dialogue between a sage named Vishwamitra and two rivers. This is a hymn which was in the form of dialogue which took place between the Vishwamitra and the two rivers. The rivers were Beas and Satluj. And that time these two rivers were worshipped as well as goddess. While learning about the past, students of history examined written sources. Okay, to get more information about the past, they examine the written sources. They examined the Rig Veda, Okay, this we have already explained. And historians study these exchanges to arrive at conclusion. And later on, after studying the material they found during the excavation and other activities, they study it, as well as after that they come to a conclusion about past. Now Vishwamitra and the two rivers, there was a story. Vishwamitra, and these are in the form of dialogues. Let me read some of the dialogues for you. Vishwamitra, O rivers, come down from the mountains like two swift horses, like two shining cows that lick their calves. You move like chariots to the sea through the power of Indra, the warrior god. Earlier I told you about that. You are full of water and wish to unite with one another. Then the rivers, we who are full of water move along the path the god have made for us. Once we start flowing, we cannot be stopped. Why do you pray to us, O sage? Then Vishwamitra replies, O sisters, please listen to me. The singer who has come from a distance which with his chariots and carts. Let your water not rise above our axles, so that we can cross safely. Then the river replies, we will listen to your prayers so that you can cross safely. Historians point out that this hymn was composed in the area where their rivers flow. They also suggest that the sage lived in a society where horses and cows were valued animals. This time people used to keep these animals as pets. They were animal rearers. That is why the rivers are compared to horses and cows. Here the rivers are compared with horses and cows. Other rivers, especially the Indus and its other tributaries and the Saraswati, are also named in the hymns. They were also worshipped. The Ganga and the Yamuna are named only once. In this hymn, Ganga and Yamuna named only once, and other rivers, you can see their name has come. Their name has also came in this hymn. So this is all about this part of this chapter. We'll soon meet with the another part of this chapter. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.